speaker. What are you smoking? What are you smoking? James Kroshus.
Mankind has debated life's greatest questions, but mankind has never been able to answer life's greatest question. What are you smoking? Now, I'm not a joiner. I question the integrity of a club that would want me to be a member. Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, I need some answers, and I want them now. I had the same philosophy when it came to choosing a wife. I had a lot of questions about the integrity of a woman who would say yes to me in marriage. I questioned her judgment, her mental and emotional stability, because I was from Hawthorne, Nevada. Mineral County High School. Can anything good come out of Hawthorne, Nevada? Mineral County High School, MCHS, we used to call it McKess State University. Our mascot was the Anteaters. Our school colors were brown and dark brown. It was a tough sale trying to convince my in-laws to give their daughter's hand to me. My mother-in-law believed in first impressions only. We had a love-hate relationship, minus the love. She had many strokes in her life, but there was a phenomenon. Every time she had a stroke, that part of her brain that remembered she hated her son-in-law was never affected. Now, the conversation went like this. Tell us about your boyfriend's education. Well, he went to McKess State University. Well, where's that? Well, it's in the South. Technically, Hawthorne is south of Sparks. Great save. Well, tell us about his job. Well, he works at a nuclear valve plant. Oh, he's an engineer. No, he's starting from the ground floor. He's a janitor. Does he have a car? Well, nothing comes to mind. Guy Lee, what are you smoking? We went down to meet my family in Hawthorne. My mother never met my girlfriend. She did this into the kitchen. You seem to be such a nice girl. What are you smoking? I only have one word of urgency to say to you, Guy Lee. Run! All my family wondered what she was smoking. My children have asked her, Mom, what were you smoking? Last week, my 6-year-old granddaughter, Alaire, said, Grandma, you're such a nice grandma. What were you smoking? This picture represents our wedding day. Notice that beautiful 1964 Ford Falcon. Well, my wife's beautiful too. I love that car. I had to gear down though to get through a wad of gum. I also had to leave the lights on at night so that the garbage man wouldn't take it away. I love that car, but it didn't work for me today. It wouldn't start. Here's the wedding party giving us a send-off as I popped the clutch. To add insult to injury, the next morning, my wife had to call her dad and her brothers to come on down to the Holiday Inn and kickstart us out of the Holiday Inn. Our honeymoon started at the Holiday Inn, but it ended at the Dinosaur Museum in Vernal, Utah. Call us adventuresome. Now, life only went downhill from there. My wife has an interesting name, Guy Lee. Now, I looked up on the internet and I found out what that means. Now, I'm going to do a striptease here. The G stands for, well, I forgot, so I'll come back to that. It actually stands for glue, guts, and glory, because, girl, you got a lot of it. And because of that glue and guts, you're going to get a buttload of glory in the next life. The I stands for irresistible, because, girl, I was stuck on you. You cast your spell on me. The next one is an A, because that has to do with altitude. You were way up there in Sparks, Nevada, and I was down in Hawthorne. Girl, you raised me up so I could stand on mountains. You raised me up so I could be more than I could be. Somebody ought to write a song about that. The L stands for, well, wouldn't that be cute if it stood for love, but it doesn't. We were married 10 years before I was able to say those 3 words, I loves you. Then she said, why? I said, that's not fair. It actually stands for long suffering. Because, girl, you suffered a long time. The next one stands for echo, because we had 6 little echoes. Remember that first echo? She was born, barely said a word. I wondered what was wrong with her. That's before the doctors, they used to beat them babies when they was born, and they squealed through the delivery. Well, that little E stands for echoes. Our second little echo, that Derek, that man-child, you looked down, you said, he's homely. We both cried. He looked like Mr. Magoo. But you took him under his wing, and you nursed him for the next 6 years, and he did just fine. Then we had the next little echo, Meryl. She was born with a smile on her face, and she's never stopped smiling since. Our next little echo, Jolene. Big eyes like this. Well, then what happened was she clung to life for the next 3 weeks. And we were so grateful that we were able to take her home. And then Melanie. You wanted to give me a tax deduction, and she was born on December 31st. I love the IRS. Not! 5 years later, though, at my birthday party, you gave me a card, and it said, "You can, happy birthday, dear, you can use these around December, around Christmas time." I opened it up, and lo and behold, Pampers. You got me, girl. You got me good. Now, I told you in the beginning of our marriage that I had a formula for happiness in marriage. And you said, what is it? I said, just lower your expectations. And she did. And ever since that time, it's been blissfully tolerable. Well, I gotta conclude because my time is almost up, but I just got to tell you. Dear, I don't know what you were smoking, but it's time to make it legal, package it, sell it, and franchise it. And I just hope you never stop smoking it. Madam President.